Hello everybody and welcome for a good old look around the interior of this lovely old Westerly. So we're going to have a look around in detail to see what there is, where it's fitted and if the arrangement and if this boat may actually suit you. Otherwise, if you're just along for a good, lovely look around a lovely old vintage boat, then this could be the video for you too. So as you can see, I'm standing about midships in the saloon and I'm looking towards the companionway. So what's a companionway like to get up and down? Well, it's really, really nice and easy because we've got nice handles either side. It's nice and wide and it's nice and deep this way as well, and the spray hood's reasonably high too, so not too much stooping to get down. And when you get down, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps all the way to the bottom, nice and easy. We've got a bit of Treadmaster here as well to assist us with the grip, but it is really, really nice and easy. The ladder pulls out of the way. This panel comes off to give you access, good access to the front of the engine, and also we're seeing the port and starboard. I won't call them cabins because they're not cabins, but these sleeping areas here, we've got access to the port side of the engine here, and we've also got access to the starboard side of the engine through there, which is really, really lovely. And what I like about this boat is that there is stowage absolutely everywhere. Unlike boats these days when they're built, I don't think manufacturers put so much effort into this kind of thing because it's probably not quite as profitable, but this boat they have. You can see they've even squeezed a little locker under here, underneath the companionway where there's a bit of spare space, and you'll see that all around the boat. Lovely. Let's start in this sleeping area, shall we? So we can see we've got the electrical isolator here. We've got a nice long wide bed in there. It's not actually a cabin because it's always open to the sleeping accommodation, but that's okay. It's nice and wide. We have storage beneath, storage behind, and a nice long shelf above as well. You can see we've got sockets down at the end there, so we've got 240 on board. We've got a window there for light and ventilation, etc. And while the headroom is nowhere near standing, you're probably only going to be sleeping or sitting in here anyway, so not too much of a problem at all, but it does give you that flexibility and space. Just above it, when we come into this area, you can see that we've got an emergency VHF aerial there and stereo speakers as well. We've got 2 speakers out in the cockpit as well, very nice. And once you're in here, we've got lots and lots of headroom, I'd say well over 6 foot, so for the taller people amongst us, you shouldn't struggle on this boat. So around the other side of the companionway is pretty much a mirror image of what we just saw. We've got sleeping accommodation on this side as well, low head height, but who cares? We've got a long shelf there, we've got a window, we've got access to the starboard side of the engine, and storage behind and beneath, and I think we have some dodgers there as well to be confirmed. Once we're out of there, we're straight to the galley. Now, quite a conventional layout down here, but we have got really, really high worktops, etc., and I think that would really work well for people like me with bad backs, so we're not going to be bending over so much. And when we come down the companionway, as I mentioned, we've got the handles here, and then we've got really massive fiddles here to grab hold of, some on the chart table too, and we've got pillars here, we've got a pillar here, etc. So making your way forwards shouldn't be a bother in any kind of seaway on this boat. Absolutely brilliant. The galley itself, we've got 2 sinks here, no problem at all. We've got, looks like hot and cold running water. We have storage beneath there as well. We've got what looks like a running fridge under here, and we've got a gimbaled cooker there with 2 burners and a cooker underneath there, nestling away. Behind, we've got some shelving for your pots and pans, as you can see, for your box of matches, your tea and your coffee, etc. And we've also got little cubby holes all over the place. So we've got cup storage here, we've got somewhere here for your winch handles, etc., etc. Really, really nicely done. Now you will see this boat is she's been well used. You'll see we've got lots and lots of woodwork, but some of it could do with attention or sprucing up. But we do have that nice vintage feel down here, which, if that's what you're after, of course. Just looking up at the headlining, you can see we've got the original headlining here. Now we don't have the what I would laughingly refer to as the Westerly droop, but obviously it could do with a bit of a clean, etc. I think that would probably come up a little bit better. But you can see over the years we've got lumps and bumps, etc. But personally, I don't think I would bother changing that, but that may be up to you. Now, we have got 4 nice long windows down here, all opening as well, so lots of air and ventilation. We don't have a hatch in this area, but with so many opening windows, do we really need one? Now, let's swivel around and look at the navigation area. There we go. A bit of a pièce de resistance for this boat because it's just so big. We've got a forward-facing seat, which is great, and within shouting distance of the helm, so we can talk up here. Also, incidentally, just coming out of the galley's really well located for passing up your cup of soups, bringing down your empty pot noodles, etc., etc. So really well thought out. Straight down the companionway into the galley or the navigation area, and if you don't want either, then you just go straight through the middle, and the person in the galley can work unencumbered, and the navigator can work unencumbered too, which is really, really nice. So the navigation area, we have some nice drawers underneath, a huge, great big full-size table. These days, people aren't using them so much, so we've possibly got a huge, great, big side bureau or desk, etc. But we've got lots of storage inside as well, very nice. Fiddled shelves behind, GPS on the forward bulkhead, VHF, DSC VHF, a couple of cupboards on the outboard side as well. And you'll see that on the outboard side underneath, we've got the electrical panel and we've got the battery charger there. I think there's a bit of storage beneath this seat as well, but it is a really, really nice area to navigate from, I think, and just lots and lots of room for anything you'd want to, perhaps new navigation instruments, anything you need to do in that area. Looking down at the floor, obviously it's worn, you know, it's been around for a while. It's stood the test of time, but it does feel really, really nice and strong. We've got great access to the bilge underneath. There are accesses all over the place. Nice deep bilge too. And let's take a walk forward, shall we, into the main saloon. So there we go. Lots of seating, I think you'll agree. Really amazing head height. And on the starboard side, we've got seating for several people in an L shape. We've got a nice big saloon table, big fiddles on again. And that really, it's a nice design actually, really nicely and easily opens out to give you a great big saloon so people this side can eat as well. Very nicely done. I'll just open it back up. As you can see, we've got green upholstery. I think, you know, if you lighten that up, you may lighten the compartment up. We're very deep in the boat. Now, this boat is built for sailing, so we're down here, we're inside the boat, so, and that's exactly how it feels. We've got storage beneath the seats, we've got storage behind the seats, so we just pull these forwards and they hinge down. Lots of lockers all the way around the edge of this compartment, so loads of room for your bits and pieces if you're staying on board for that bit longer. Very, very nice area too. Over on the port side, you can see we've got a much wider, I think it's a wider berth. It's a nice long one as well, or if you call it a sofa, if you will. Of course, this could be a berth. And again, we've got storage beneath, we've got storage behind, we've got a nice flat screen TV there if you get bored in the evening, and more lockers on the outboard side. Plenty of room for everybody. Very nice. There you can see we've got the compression post there, so we've got a deck stepped mast. If you just and that's always going to be useful to grab hold of if we're swinging around the boat in inclement weather. But once we get forward here, we've got a choice of looking left, which we'll do now, and we can see we've got a lovely, great big hanging locker there. So all for all your wet fowlers, your longer garments, etc., etc. And I think there's a bit of storage underneath there too, and a binnacle behind. Very well thought out. Coat hooks, etc. On the starboard side, if we open up, we're into the head compartment, and again we've got a nice handle here, brilliant for bracing when you're you know whatting. And starting from the top, you can see we've got an opening window there, which is great. On the forward side, we've got a nice hot and cold running little sink there. We have a mirror, we have storage underneath, we have storage behind, and we've actually got a proper sort of shower fitting there as well. So really impressed with that. And not to mention the manual head, which is there for obvious reasons. Again, lots and lots of head height in here. The toilet's pointing athwartships, which is absolutely fine. You'd be sitting, or you'd be standing there looking to starboard, or sitting there looking to port, whichever you prefer. But plenty of room for what you need to do in there. Lovely. So we'll close the door on the head, and we'll march forward into the forward cabin. Nice big cabin, as you see. You can walk in, close the door, and you've got this area to change. We've got the infill in here at the moment, so it makes it look a little bit smaller, but with that out, we've got possibly a seat here, and generally speaking, plenty of headroom. Windows either side that open, and a hatch that opens above, so lots of light and ventilation down here, and a nice long, nice wide berth as well for two. You can see that we've got shelving on the outboard side, shelving up forward. Looks like access to the to a forward locker there as well. I'll have to look and see what's in there later on. And the shelving just continues around to the port side there too. Storage beneath, if we look as well. So as with the rest of this boat, we have storage absolutely everywhere. And then just to finish off, behind this door, you can see we've got another hanging locker. So we've got one hanging locker dedicated to the forward cabin and one for everyone else in the boat, which is absolutely great. So this has been Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, just taking you for a tour around this Westerly on the inside, just to give you an idea of what there is and what she stands for. Thanks for watching. If you'd like any more information, just go to boatshedbrighton.com for lots more pictures, videos and virtual reality. Take care.